A very good morning to you, my beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're watching me from. Welcome to my channel, Talk with Unyen. My name is Unyen, and in this channel, I discuss motherhood. In this channel, I discuss issues centering around the female gender, contemporary issues centering around the female gender. I also discuss opinions of stories that I'm drawn to or I'm passionate about, and a bit of this and that as well once in a while on my channel. So yeah, welcome. Today this is a continuation of a previous video I did that I was supposed to finish but I couldn't. I had promised I was going to come back with some of the points that to back up what I had said about in the video earlier. If you haven't watched that video, I will put a link in my description. I'll put the link of that video in my description so you go back and watch it. Now, that video talked about parents provoking their children. Like I said, a lot of parents don't know that, or African society, we feel like we don't provoke our children, and who are they to be provoked by us? So I drew our attention to the fact that the Bible says that parents provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. So if you haven't watched that video, kindly click on the description, go watch that video, and then you can come back to this one. So yes, and I also said I was going to state out some points, ways which we provoke our children. So one of the ways we can provoke our children is neglecting our children. A lot of parents don't spend time with their children. They don't dedicate a special time to just let it be for their kids. They don't spend time with their children. So by doing so, their kids feel neglected. They feel unloved by them. You get, because of the hustle and bustle. A lot of parents don't pay attention to their children. They don't give them time. They don't spend time with them. So the kids feel neglected. So this can trigger a sense of anger or provocation in your child. So that is one. Another thing that provokes children is modeling a sinful anger to them. You get, it's okay for as a parent to be angry when a child does wrong, but there's something the Bible calls righteous anger. So when you model some kind of how do I put it now, when you show them anger in trying to address certain issues, this could also provoke your kids. So as parents, we should be very, very careful not to display certain kind of emotions to our children, especially at the early stages of formation, when you start teaching your children certain things, because they will see, like I said earlier, our kids are a reflection of what they see from us. Yes, so modeling sinful anger to them, scolding your children harshly. So a lot of parents are harsh. There's a difference between being firm, and being harsh. You are firm with what you want your child to do. It's different from being harsh. Some parents are outrightly just harsh with your words, with how you talk to them. Now, you will know what I'm talking about. So you guys should put that in check, please. Now, you always find constant faults with your children. It's like your children can never please you. You always pick out faults. This here, that, this. You always pick out faults. You are insatiable. Nothing they do will they please you. So that can also provoke your child. You never listen to your children. You don't pay attention to your children. You don't try to listen to their own sides of the story when issues arise, because you feel that they are kids. So always try to listen to your children, especially when issues arise. You listen to the adults, but you never listen to your children. So that can also provoke your child. Not listening to your children, not wanting to hear their own side of the story, can also provoke your child. So we need to also take notice of that. That is one of the key points that a lot of parents fail at. You can always listen to your children, pay attention to what they are saying, because they are sending a message. You demand too much from your children. You know you're not even setting the standard for your children, and you are demanding a lot from them. You are being hypocritical, like I said in the last video. So you demand a lot from them, you expect so much from them. Meanwhile, you are not setting the pace. You get. So you also need to be an example to your children. So demanding so much from your children, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have demands, but I'm saying that there are certain stages, certain things that you should not expect from children at certain ages and all that. So you should be cautious of the kind of demands you make as a parent to your children. Another point here is abusing them physically. Nobody likes to be attacked. Me, I call it an attack. You get. Abusing them physically. There's a difference between spanking a child and abuse. Abuse, you go just they beat. If that's when I'm talking about physically abuse, you go just they beat the child up, center, right down, everywhere. You're just flogging and hitting, and you are giving that child marks. That child is not a criminal. He is not a criminal. You are not supposed to be flogging up and down. When I grew up in a family where I didn't get those kind of beatings. We were disciplined though, but I don't get those kind of beatings. I'm not in support of any of that. I'm not saying don't. Some spanking are not necessary. They are necessary sometimes. But now when you go here, you won't wound the pikin. Wetin happen? You want to wound the child. You get. Sometimes you see the kind of, as a child growing up, I remember vividly. Oh my goodness, thinking about it now just really breaks my heart. I had this childhood friend that I don't know what that boy did. The father carried razor blade and was just on that boy's body. That is an everlasting mark that child will have, inflicted on that child by the father of that child. The boy no steal. People say even if you thief, you get as a child. Is that the best way to correct a child? You get. The man took a razor blade and gave that boy cuts on his body. Cuts on his body. Cuts. It was a very horrible sight to behold as a young teenager growing up those days. It's very horrible, very horrible. Let us try to create a balance when disciplining our children, please. It's very, 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 very important. Not allowing your children enough freedom. They cage your children. They cage them. And you cage them so much that when they go out to the outside world, they become fools. They are not smart. You cage them, you shield them, they cage. They give them freedom. They don't have friends. So the time when they will need some kind of street wisdom, they will not have that wisdom. They will easily be taken advantage of. People can easily. I'm coming. Hold on. People can easily just deceive them because they are not streetwise. They can easily be taken advantage of because you didn't allow them some kind of opportunities to learn. There's how we can give our children some space and still be shielding them, at the same time. So let's create a balance. Growing up, my mom, we were free kids. We're not caged children. We're free. But my mom will always draw your ears. She will always draw your ears. She will always draw your ear. She will always say, don't do this. And she will use the Bible to guide you. So that was what we used. So even when we went out there to the world and certain temptations came our way, we were cautious. I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about myself, my brothers, myself. In fact, we were cautious of these things. Because of how my mom raised and tried her very best. She did her best. So we had some level of street wisdom, and we were free. We had friends growing up and all that. So these are some of the things that parents do to their children that frustrate. I have a lot on the list, but if I go on this, we will not finish. We won't finish this. I won't finish this video. So let me just cut it here. Let me just cut it short here. Parents, mothers. I'm speaking to mothers. Like I say. If the other gender will not get it right, The onus rests on us as mothers. We see, we are nurturing. We are the ones that nurture. The onus rests on us. In fact, the bulk of the whole work rests on us to do our own part, to guide these kids. You get, I always feel that now waiting the mama instill more na in the state. This is my own personal opinion anyway. The mothers have more influence on their children. You get, so mothers, like I said, let the other dada do what they will, but if they don't want to get it right, let us, we as mothers, as sisters, the female gender generally, get it right with this whole thing. So please, guys, let us be cautious. Like I said, parenting is a deliberate thing. I've decided to be an intentional mother with everything I do concerning my children. I want to be intentional. So I am putting this out to you as well. Try and be intentional about your parenting. Very, very important. So I will stop here for today. I will see you guys tomorrow in my next video. Ciao. God bless you all.